The Hollow School is one of the former one-room schoolhouses in Manchester, where students who lived within a mile of the building attended school between 1832 and 1892. Students of many ages would have crammed into its small footprint, where they would have learned reading, math, geography, spelling, and penmanship, and whatever else the solitary teacher might have been able to bring. Boys on one side, girls on the other, they would have been mindful of the teacher's instructions and mindful of the good manners expected. Today, time has been reversed as a group of 3rd and 4th grade students from the Ludlow Elementary School travel to the Hollow School on the Manchester River Road, and which is operated as part of Hildene, the Lincoln family home, to experience a taste of what their 19th century predecessors might have had on October 9, 1862. This is a program Hildene has run for several years and offered students from many schools a chance to get a contrast with schooling today and that of yesteryear. First, though, Dion Newton, the youth education director at Hildene, gave us a little background.
It's interesting. The way it's set up is that children ages 4 through 20 attended the Hollow School. And there was one teacher, and she taught 6th grades. In the schoolhouse, we have the classes set up as ABCdarians and first readers. Then our second group is second readers, and our oldest kids are called advanced scholars. So probably it had reflected on ability rather than, distinct ages for grades.
And do we have any information or records on how many students would be here in a given year?
Yeah, well, so the range from something like 28 to 49, that was the largest number of students that attended, I think like in 1838. But not all students would have attended at the same time. So the school year was divided into 2 sessions, a winter session and a shorter summer session to follow the agricultural cycle. So the older kids attended the school during the winter term, which ran from Thanksgiving to sugaring, and the younger kids attended the shorter summer term, and it really was short, May to June, something like that. So kids got up early, 5 o'clock in the morning maybe, had chores, then they had breakfast, and then they walked to school. So school might have started at 9 o'clock, and then finished at 4, and then they walked home. Schools were strict. The teaching style was recitation and memorization. So the teacher would call on the students to answer questions and recite. Supplies were expensive, so the kids did their work on slates and slate pencils. And in the early schools, they even would bring their own books to school. So in other words, so that means the teacher might be dealing with as many books as there were students. In around 1867, when Vermont made it compulsory for students to attend, so students from ages 8 to 18 to attend school for at least 3 months of the year, that is when the towns began to supply schools with textbooks. And the McGuffey Reader was a really popular textbook. So in 1892, Vermont mandated that smaller schools be consolidated. So the Hollow School is also known as Schoolhouse Number 10, and it was one of 16 school districts in the Manchester area. The schoolhouse is 18 by 24, and it's constructed with 2 by 6 planks stacked one on top of the other.
And is this the original building?
So that's what's really special about the Hollow School. It's the only schoolhouse in the Manchester area to be still a schoolhouse and still on its original location. So, 1903, Robert Lincoln purchased the land surrounding the schoolhouse, and he moved into Hildene in 1905. And what he did was store 100 volumes of the Congressional Record. That publication actually was dating back to 1840, which was at the time known as the Congressional Globe. So for 75 years, the schoolhouse sat with almost no vandalism. They finally, by 1982, they raised enough money to, under the direction of Peter Palmer, to do the restoration work, which meant lifting this building up off of its foundation and straightening the walls. The walls were bulging out. So, and that work was completed in 1984.
After lining up in orderly rows, the Ludlow students made their way in and took their places behind the school benches, writing slates in front of them. Internet? What internet? Then Dion Newton, now Miss Frost, the no-nonsense schoolmarm, took them through their paces.
All right, so this is the beginning of the term. We're going to review how we make our manners, which we always use whenever it is that we wish to speak. So for example, if you have a question or a comment, before speaking, you would raise your hand, I would call on you, you would stand and make your manners, and then ask your question or make your comment. Gilbert, would you please stand so we could demonstrate how to make your manners for the gentleman? Come on out. So you left hand by your side, right hand, let's do the left hand here, right hand by your side, and then give a little bow. Nicely done. Okay, so we are going to do some word problems. I'm going to read you a problem. You are going to use your slates and slate pencils to solve the problem. When you think you have the answer, I'd like you to stand beside your desk, and I will call on one of you. When you are presenting, please don't just give me the answer. Also give me the math sentence, and then the answer. Okay, whatever you use to solve, however you use to solve the problem, I want to hear how you did that, okay? So let's just go.
3 times 4. And I just started actually counting by 2s 4 times, and I got 2, 4, 6, 8. And then I just added 4 ones to it.
Okay, thank you. Nicely done. All right, let's erase our medicine.
Finally, it was time for recess when the students from Ludlow got to check out what their counterparts from 162 years ago might have done to relax and ease the school day stress.
The idea is to move the ring down the peg by going side to side. Okay. Well, so here's the thing. You don't want to tip this thing back and forth. That's when you lose the ring. Okay?
Okay.
That's the ring dang do.
I love that.
So, ready? Yay! Okay, now send it on back. Pop it back. Good job. Okay, the other way you can do it, it takes a little more time, is you make an X, but it goes higher. Wow.
Then it was back inside for more lessons before heading home to whatever chores might have awaited them there. This is part of a series of pieces we hope to produce about area one-room schools, and several of those buildings are still standing. For the GNAT-TV News Project, I'm Andrew McKeever.